Good morning. Welcome to part 4, Law of the Land, LORE. I'm seldom going to be talking about the LAW unless for a baseline difference between the LAW and the LORE. Today we're going to talk specifically about the law, LORE, of Aotearoa, sometimes called New Zealand by the Crown. You see, the law of the Crown, LAW, calls it New Zealand, but the LORE of Aotearoa is Aotearoa. Now, for all those of you who are called Maoris, and if you don't like the word, don't badger me because I didn't give you that name, because that's the way you're collectively known. But I tell you what I'll do. Let me use the word Tangata Whenua, or Whenau. Correct me if I'm wrong. You people, you blessed people in Aotearoa, have the most ideal, the best arrangement under the heavens with your Wakaputanga, the Declaration of Independence of 1835, which formed the basis and the foundation of the 1840 Tiriti Ke Waitangi, or the Treaty of Waitangi. Now, for all those of you Tangata Whenua in Aotearoa, you need to know the DOI, the Declaration of Independence of Wakaputanga, the Treaty of Waitangi, and the 1993 Te Ture Whenua Maori Land Act. Just the preamble. It's a beautiful piece of legislation. Now, the Wakaputanga, which is the DOI, Declaration of Independence, was signed by your ancestors, all 512 principal chiefs. And that was dispatched to England by your resident governor at that time, a chap by the name of Busby. And it was ratified in the Treaty of Waitangi. Now let's do the IDEA mnemonic. I for identify the issue, D for define, describe the issue, E for evaluate, examine the issue, and A to apply the action. Now first let's identify the issue. Couple of ships arrive in Aotearoa. They look around, verdant greenery. Wow, perfect. Shrubbery. The first thing that enters their mind, commerce. You see, this is after the formation of the East India Company in 1600. The East India Company received a charter from the Crown backed by 25 entrepreneurs and businessmen because they wanted to make money. But that's very crass. Let's get a bit sophisticated. They wanted to create wealth for themselves and for the Crown. So, that was the excuse of having gone and colonized the entire world. A small country like the British Isles, no bigger than Malaysia. Such a vast empire. Churchill, I believe, once said, "The sun shall never set upon the British Empire." So, the issue is commerce, creating wealth, make money, exchange of goods, take goods from the Far East, bring it up there, bring goods from England, start a colony, start a settlement, start a civilization. And that escalated into a treaty. Now let's define the meaning of the word treaty. Okay? According to all the law dictionaries I have researched over the last 47 years, basically a treaty is a compact, a covenant, a contract, an agreement between two sovereigns. You get that? Let's define sovereign. A sovereign is an entity with unlimited power. Hello? Remember that? Identify the issue. They came to make money. They came to open up the land. They came to expand the empire. That was the issue. Identify the issue. You think they gave a rip for you? No, they didn't. But your ancestors did through the Waka Putanga, known in the English language as the Declaration of Independence. Identify the issue, expansion. Define there was a need to create a treaty. So that became the Treaty of Waitangi, a compact covenant agreement between two sovereigns. Now let's examine these two laws. When you examine these two laws, I'm going to go into the Declaration of Independence, which is in two languages, by the way. The very, very, very powerful document. And if you're living in Aotearoa, whether you're a Tangata Whenua or whether you are a Caucasian from India, from Pakistan, Korea, China, it doesn't matter. If you want to obey the law of the land, L-O-R-E, the first law, the only law, all right? Now, let's examine and evaluate the issues. The translation in the English language for the Declaration of Independence says in Article 2. Article 1 says, of course, we the hereditary chiefs and heads of tribes of the northern parts of New Zealand being assembled at Waitangi in the Bay of Islands on this 20th day of October 1835, declare the independence of our country, which is hereby constituted and declared to be an independent state under the designation of the United Tribes of New Zealand. Now, you notice they say, declare the independence of our country. They don't say to declare the independence of our government, because government is a Johnny come lately. Back to the translation. Section 2. Now, this is where you need to pay attention. Because your life, your destiny, your fate, your karma depends on this Article 2. All sovereign power and authority. Now, I've already defined what sovereign means. An entity with unlimited power. So there can be no power that can limit your sovereignty. All sovereign power and authority within the territories of the United Tribes of New Zealand is hereby declared to reside entirely and exclusively in the hereditary chiefs and heads of tribes in their collective capacity. Naidu translation. What that means is we are now the lawmakers, and that's the legislature, and we are also the executive, because all of this sovereign power and authority resides in us in a collective capacity, exclusively, permanently. Hello. This is where you need to put on your seatbelts. Who also declare that they will not permit any legislative authority separate from themselves in their collective capacities to exist, nor any function of government to be exercised within the said territories unless by persons appointed by the traditional chiefs and elders, and acting upon the authority of the laws regularly enacted by them in Congress assembled. Now, in those 62 words, the principal chiefs and elders of the United Tribes of Aotearoa have painted a broad stroke in the canvas of your inherent sovereignty. Nobody can make laws other than the chiefs. No other government can come and impose its laws upon the chiefs and upon the collective capacity of the United Tribes of Aotearoa. All right? And that authority shall reside exclusively and permanently with the chiefs, who in their collective capacity will constitute the executive and the legislature. Now, I was recently adopted into some tribes in Aotearoa, and I was given the name Tefetu Orongo. My role in the interim, in the provisional government of the Aotearoa chiefs is to be the Chief Justice of the judiciary of the tribal government of the United Tribes of Aotearoa. So in my capacity as Chief Judge, Chief Justice, I am giving you my, not my opinion, but my authority vested in me to teach you the laws of the land, L-O-R-E. Now, that's Section 2. Section 3 is another wonderfully compact, most assuredly decided law, L-O-R-E, that determines the LAW of the Crown. It says in Section 3. Now, Section 2, Section 3, you must remember it. If you can't remember it, take a photocopy of that and keep it in your vehicles in case LEA or Leo, Law Enforcement Agency, Leo, L-E-O, Law Enforcement Officer, drooping child molester mustache, dark glasses, bald head, uniform, laser taser, bazooka. You know what I'm talking about? Coppers. In case they stop you, know your law. It is your patriotic duty to know the law. All right? It is your nationalistic duty to know your law. Because the Crown doesn't know your law. L-O-R-E. It's up to you to teach the Crown. Now, someone said, oh, we've been, subjugated for 180 years. We can wait a few more years. Well, that's up to you if you want to wait. Hell, you can wait for another 1,000 years. They get stronger, you get weaker. That what you want? It's up to you. Section 3. The hereditary chiefs and heads of tribes agree to meet in Congress at Waitangi, that's your legislative, executive departments, organs of state, meeting in Waitangi at the autumn of each year for the purpose of framing laws for the dispensation of justice. Powerful stuff. For the dispensation of justice. In other words, we are a government of men and laws. Men, women, laws. For the dispensation of justice, for the preservation of peace and good order. The preservation of peace and good order literally means you must have a standing army. You must have police power. Police power literally means the power to stop, to question, to arrest, to indict, to arraign, to try in a court of equity, and to punish. And that's what your ancestors said. For the dispensation of justice, comma, the preservation of peace and good order. Some of you have said, oh, Judge, we don't believe in violence. Am I talking violence? Did your ancestors talk violence when they talked about the preservation of peace and good order? So we can call our police force peacekeepers. In case the word police and standing army is too violent for you. Huh? Excuse me. So, the hereditary chiefs will meet every autumn in Congress for the dispensation of justice, the framing of laws, and the preservation of peace and good order. It doesn't stop there. And the regulation of trade. You know what that means? Fungible instruments, native land titles, anything and everything that comes out of your land and soil. You, Aotearoans, are eligible for a tithe. Ha ha! Because it talks about the regulation of trade. You have 27 million hectares of land and soil in Aotearoa. What did they give you? What did the crown give you? Nothing, but gave you misery, pain, subjugation, suffering, a little bit of euphoria now and then when you go down to the liquor shop. I was watching. Every other shop in Auckland, downtown, was a liquor shop. Hello. But hey, I like my drink once in a while too, so let's not belabor the point. The point is, know the law of your land. That is your destiny, your karma, your ultimate fate. And they cordially invite the southern tribes to lay aside their private animosities and to consult the safety and welfare of our common country by joining the Confederation of the United Tribes. So, your chiefs, in the spirit of Tecumseh, want to bring about unity, a united tribes of Aotearoa, so that united we are strong, divided we fall. So you got the Declaration of Independence, the Wakaputanga, Section 2, Section 3, you must know by heart better. If you don't, carry a copy in your vehicle. Now, Section 2, Section 3, the Treaty of Waitangi is self-explanatory. And finally, the Te Ture Whenua Maori Land Act of 1993. All you need to do is just keep the preamble with you all times. It basically says, whereas the Treaty of Waitangi established the special relationship between the Maori people and the Crown, and whereas it is desirable that the spirit of the exchange of kawanatanga, government, for the protection of the Rangatiratanga, embodied in the Treaty of Waitangi be reaffirmed. So in 1993, they're reaffirming the 1835 and the 1840 Law of the Land, LORE. And whereas it is desirable to recognize that land is a taonga tuku iho, a gift of God, of special significance to Maori people, and for that reason and purpose, to promote the retention of that land in the hands of its owners, their whanau and their hapu. Powerful stuff. And to facilitate the occupation, development, utilization of that land for the benefit of its owners, their whanau and their hapu. And then it goes on to say, it is desirable to maintain a court to establish mechanism, but that court is governed by the Crown, so you don't want to go there. So these 131 words of the preamble is very, very clear about your sovereign rights to Aotearoa. And you must take it upon yourselves to learn this, to apply this, to live by this, because this is your whakapapa. This is everything that you need to know. You don't need to know the law of the Crown, LAW. The law, LORE, is very, very, very powerful. All right? So the next time we meet, I will go into the law, LAW, of the Crown that validates, affirms, consolidates, and escalates your law of Aotearoa. All right, to all my brothers and sisters in Aotearoa, till we meet again very soon, be blessed. God be with you. Thank you. Good day.